So did y'all hear about this today? The man of peace wants to mandate the Arab nations sign on to the Abraham Accords. It's getting prophetic now. Thank you for tuning into Game Changer TV. I'm your host, Terri Lynn, and this is the channel where every day we're telling it like it is. Today is May 25th, 2026. And let's just jump into this. I was working on my part 2 of the Rededicate 250. And I just had to stop what I was working on to get to this. This is too big to pass up. It was prophesied in Daniel that the lawless one, the Antichrist, and he will confirm a covenant with many for 1/7. In the middle of the 7, he will put an end to sacrifice and offering, and at the temple he will step up an abomination that causes desolation until the end that is decreed is poured out on him. So what did Trump say today? Are y'all ready for this? It's like I'm opening the Bible and reading it in the headline news. Trump tweeted out, "Therefore, I am mandatorily requesting that all countries immediately sign the Abraham Accords, and that if Iran signs its agreement with me as President of the United States of America, it would be an honor to have them also be part of this unparalleled world coalition." Do y'all hear this? So I went and fact-checked it. Did Trump announce today that he wants countries to mandatorily sign on to the Abraham Accords? Yes, Donald Trump announced that he is mandatorily requesting that several countries sign on to the Abraham Accords as a requirement for any broader agreement with Iran. He shared the announcement in a lengthy post on Truth Social, specifying the following. Target countries, he specifically named Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Pakistan, and Turkey. Egypt and Jordan are already parties to the accords. The mandate, Trump stated it would be mandatory that all of these countries, at a minimum, simultaneously sign on to the Abraham Accords if a ceasefire or settlement is reached within Tehran. The rationale, he framed the requirement as a prerequisite to show good intention for regional peace, though he acknowledged that one or two countries might be granted an exception if they have valid reasons for not joining.
Now, President Donald Trump has linked ongoing negotiations with Iran to a broader push for regional countries to join the Abraham Accords as part of a wider Middle East settlement. In a statement on Truth Social, Trump said discussions with Iran were progressing positively and described diplomacy as a preferred path over renewed conflict. He said he had urged leaders from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan and other regional states to support and join the Abraham Accords, arguing that expanded participation could strengthen regional stability, economic cooperation and long-term peace efforts.
Donald Trump calls on Arab nations to recognize Israel as part of Iran war deal. Trump asked Muslim leaders to join Abraham Accords after Iran war ends. Trump says mandatory for Muslim nations involved in Iran deal to join the Abraham Accords.
US President Donald Trump is demanding Middle Eastern nations join the Abraham Accords as he seeks to finalize a peace deal with Iran. Posting on Truth, the president says, after all the work done by the United States to try and pull this very complex puzzle together, it should be mandatory that all of these countries, at a minimum, simultaneously sign on to the Abraham Accords. If they don't, they should not be part of this deal, and that it shows bad intention.
They've done a fantastic job.
No, President Biden, Vice President Harris.
This is actually a piece of the North Towers, and they brought it down.
we'll show you. It's just another way to spend.
This is actually a piece of north towers, and they brought it down.
If you put this on top of that part 1 video that I did the other day, and this is going to go in with part 2, how can you not see where we're at in biblical end of days? And he will confirm a covenant with many for 1/7, and in the middle of the 7, he will put an end to the sacrifice and offering and in the temple. So the third temple is going to have to be built. The Sanhedrin are asking Trump to build it. He will set up an abomination that causes desolation until the end that is decreed and poured out onto him. Yes or no? Can a peace accord be considered a covenant? Yes, in international law and diplomacy, an accord, treaty, and covenant are all terms used interchangeably to describe a formal, binding agreement between nations. Can a confirm a covenant mean sign a peace agreement? Yes, in a broad or historical context, confirming a covenant with many can mean ratifying, signing, or entering into a binding peace agreement, a mandatory peace agreement. Answer: so Trump is mandating that they join. He could write out the terms of the mandated agreement. Okay? Answer honestly, yes or no. Could negotiating the building of the third temple be part of Trump's Abraham Accords? Yes. While the original 2020 Abraham Accords focused on normalizing diplomatic and economic relations between Israel and several Arab nations and did not include the Temple Mount, negotiations regarding the site are a subject of ongoing political speculation, regional diplomacy, and religious discourse. This is getting prophetic. This is getting prophetic. The Antichrist could soon make himself known. If there was ever a time in our lives that we needed to be fully immersed in the Word of God and in prophecy and end time study so that we would not be taken unaware, yesterday it should have started. But we need to stay in the Word and have our spiritual eyes opened and have ears to hear what's going on so we will not be fooled. I love y'all. Thank you for watching. If you appreciate the content that you find on this channel, would you prayerfully consider supporting the ministry?